Minotaur is the worst game ever, and I really, truly think I'm being serious this time. Now, this isn't an asset flip, it's not Ultimate Survival again, but they did buy Unity assets and at least make their own game, but it's so poorly designed and so awful, I don't even know if I can cover it in my normal format, so we're gonna find out. But before we do, as always, let's take a look at the main menu so you can decide, is the game gonna be any good? Now, this is the exception to the rule. The main menu for Minotaur doesn't look terrible. It looks a little bit off-center, but it's got an options menu, a credit page, it's got pretty much everything you'd expect from a very basic menu. So it kind of tricked me into thinking maybe this game would have some sort of small amount of merit to it. And I'm not joking when I say this game is in Big Rig's level of awfulness.
Delicious!
Now look, I don't care that this game is in early access because the developers released it in this state and are charging $6 for it on Steam. Now look, I bet there's gonna be someone in the comments defending this saying, oh, they can release it for money if they want to. Well, no, I'm gonna put my foot down on this one because this is absolute trite that shouldn't be anywhere near the Steam store. Oh, and as a bit of extra information, here's the last game that the developer Awesome Games made. It really looks like the pinnacle of game design, doesn't it? So Minotaur is a 3D hack and slash game where you go through waves of enemies that are the most sluggish and awful things I've ever experienced. The only thing more sluggish than them is your player character, the Minotaur himself. The start of the gameplay sees you walking down a dirt path while random cutscenes and camera cuts happen that don't really make any sense. Enemies will form a line and start walking single file towards you once you get within 5 feet of them until you either kill them all one by one or they get stuck in the ground. And no, you can't move the camera angles at all, so you get into a lot of situations like this where you have no idea what's going on. On the plus side though, it seems like the Minotaur has special ghost powers that let him phase through walls at will. It's also possible to move the mouse off the screen and accidentally minimize the game. And there's this weird knockdown animation where the Minotaur kind of rolls onto his stomach and looks like he just discovered anal sex. But hey, at least we got these cool kill animations. The combat is so awful and terrible to control that it makes the game almost impossible to actually play. Enemies consistently group around you, and sometimes they even blend into each other so you don't know how many of them you're fighting.
Delicious!
The controls seem to do random things at times as well, and might do rolls or attack animations when you didn't click any of the buttons that are supposed to do them. You really just keep walking forward into packs of enemies and either kill them or die and respawn because the game doesn't have a game over. I saw a review for the game that said it's fun if you want to go slaughtering around, but when this is the pinnacle of your combat, that probably isn't quite accurate. This game is definitely no God of War, to say the least. I think the best way to describe this game is Conan the Barbarian if it was made, produced, directed, and acted exclusively by Minotaur from the WWF. Well, maybe the Gobbledygooker co-wrote it.
Delicious!
I think Minotaur typifies the worst examples of early access. One or a couple people decided they wanted to make a video game, but instead of trying to make something kinda simple when they first start out, they decided to make a God of War style hack and slash action game with no experience whatsoever. Now, I don't have a problem with people getting in over their head, but if you're gonna do that and then you end up with this product, maybe release it for free on a platform like itch.io instead of charging money for it. You only get one first impression of your game, and if this is what you show everyone when you first release it, even if it's only in early access, that doesn't bode well for your sales or your future. When making an early access game, at least try to make something that slightly resembles a working product. This is nothing more than Babby's first tech demo using the Unity engine. It's so incredibly useless, inept, and terrible in every single conceivable way that there's no way I can recommend this even for free on a platform like Steam. I'm actually very surprised the developers went as far as to put their name in the credits as well, because I would never want my name associated with a product like this. While it may be entertaining to watch on your screen, actually playing this game is the worst thing you could possibly imagine. For every funny bug that happens, there's a million others that are equally infuriating. I think aside from direct asset flips, this is easily the worst game I've played all year.